All right, guys, let's do this. We're going to explain this homework assignment. So I expect you guys to be able to do this on your own and use this video to help answer questions. So if you're doing this homework as I'm explaining it, I hope that you would pause it right now, copy this question down, try to do it, get an answer, and then hit play to see if you got the answer right. Or try to do it until you get stuck and then hit play so you could clarify how you got stuck and how to actually do it. Here we go. Number one, we have C on the left side of the equal sign. We want to get C by itself, so I need to get rid of the 6 by subtracting 6, by doing the opposite. And of course, what I do to one side, I must do to the other. Subtract 6. My new equation, I'm going to rewrite. I have the 5C that comes down, the equal sign that comes down, and minus 29 and minus 6. You owe 29, you owe 6, you're going to owe 35, right? And of course, we have a 5 times C. We don't want that multiplication of 5, so do the opposite of multiplying by 5, which is dividing by 5. And when you do to one side, you do to the other side. So your final answer is C equals negative 7. C equals negative 7. And of course, if you wanted to, you could take that negative 7 and plug it in. And 5 times negative 7 is negative 35. And if you add 6, that would give you a negative 29. So that is a way to double check it. Of course, I did that in my head, but I hope you guys could do it on paper so you could double check, or with the calculator. Let's move on. Number 2. We need to realize that the W is on the left side of the equal sign. I need to get it by itself. I don't want this minus 5, and I don't want the 8. You get rid of the 8 first. That number that's all by itself, you get rid of it by doing the opposite. The opposite of positive 8 is negative 8. What you do to one side, you do to the other side. Your new equation is negative 5W equals negative 45. Now, of course, that is negative 5 times W. So to get rid of that multiplication of negative 5, I divide by negative 5. And what I do to one side, I do to the other side. So yes, the negative 5s cancel out. We have the W all by itself, the equal sign, positive 9. W equals 9 is the answer. So if you wanted to double check it, this is what you should do on your paper to double check. Rewrite your equation, but instead of the W, put a parenthesis and plug in the 9 right in there. So you have a 9 right in there. And if you do this math, you need to verify that it's actually a true statement, that it's actually equal. 8 take away 5 times 9 is 45. 8 take away 45, it really is equal to negative 37. So I've double checked it right there. Moving on to number 3. The easiest way to handle this one is to get rid of the minus 8. I mean, you could get rid of the fraction if you wanted to by multiplying everything by 3, but then you'd get a 24 right here and you'd get a 6 over here. Those are bigger numbers. It's a lot easier to just simply get rid of that minus 8 by adding 8. And what you do to one side, you do to the other side. We will have a new equation that reads n over 3 equals positive 6. Whoops, sorry about that. And now, to get rid of the division of 3, I need to do the opposite of dividing by 3, which is multiplying by 3. And notice that I put the 3 up on top, right? Because the 3 up on top will cancel with the 3 on the bottom. 3 divided by 3 is 1. By the way, if you multiply by 3 on the left side, you have to also multiply by 3 on the right side. Your new equation reads n all by itself. That was your goal, to get the variable by itself. And 6 times 3 is 18, and we are done. Let's move on to number 4. Again, you can multiply everything by 3 to get rid of the fraction, but the easier thing to do would simply be to get rid of the minus 4 by doing plus 4 first. That'll cancel it out. What you do to one side, do to the other side. You will have negative h over 3 equaling 17. Okay. Now, we do have a fraction. It would be nice if we did not have this divided by 3. If it were just a negative h, that would be really easy. So let's get rid of that divided by 3 by doing the opposite of dividing by 3, which is multiplying by 3. And of course, what I do to one side, I do to the other side, multiply by 3. So the 3's cancel. What do I have left? I have a negative h equaling, and if you do 17 times 3 on a calculator, you will get, what is that, 51, right? I just did that in my head by going 3 times 10 is 30, and then 3 times 7 is 21, and 30 plus 21 is 51. It's kind of like doing distributive property in your head right there. Anyhow, your answer is, well, we need to get rid of this minus sign. So you could imagine there's a minus 1 being multiplied by h. So you could divide both sides by negative 1. Final answer will be h equals negative 51. Moving on. Number 5, once again, the easiest thing to do is to get rid of the plus 6. Yes, you could multiply by 3 to cancel out the 3. Multiply by 3, you'll get 18. Multiply by 3, you get negative 36. But the easier thing to do, instead of dealing with those bigger numbers like 18 and 36, simply be to subtract 6, and you will have 2/3 g equaling positive 6. See? Nice, easy, smaller values. And then you could get rid of that divided by 3. Again, a fraction 2/3 is really 2 divided by 3. If you don't want this divided by 3, get rid of it by doing the opposite. Multiply by 3. And what you do to one side, you must do to the other. You will see that the 3's cancel. We have 2g left over equaling 18. And that really is 2 times g equaling 18. So to get rid of the multiplication of 2, you're going to divide by 2. Divide by 2. G equals 9. That's your final answer. Let's move on. And again, I know I'm going super fast here. Feel free to pause and rewind so you could jot everything down. Numero 6. All right, let's get rid of that minus 8 by doing the opposite, which would be plus 8. What you do to one side, you do to the other side. What do we have here? We have 5 over 2z equaling minus 3 plus 8. You owe 3, you have 8, you're going to have 5 left over. And to get rid of the 5 divided by 2, you would multiply by 2. And what you do to one side, you do to the other side. The 2's cancel. What do we have left? We have 5z equals 10. Let's make a little more space for that. And that really means 5 times z. So to get rid of the multiplication of 5, you'd have to divide by 5 and divide by 5. Giving you a final answer of z equaling 2. Ta-da! Alrighty, guys. By the way, if you're finding yourself that you are like just copying this stuff down, please stop. Don't just copy, guys. Try to do it on your own. If you're not trying to do this on your own, you're not developing the skills, right? You're just a copy machine. If you're just following the video and copying stuff down, that's totally pointless. Your grade is not composed of completing homework assignments. That's like a minute piece of your grade. What you need to do is use these videos to try to do it on your own, and if you get stuck, watch the video for the explanation. Let's move on. I love these. These are pretty easy, right? You need to get rid of that divided by 4 by doing the opposite, multiplying by 4. So let's put a multiplication and a 4 up here. Now don't make the mistake of distributing 4 times c of 4. No, that's incorrect. You're putting a times 4. Why? To get rid of the fraction over 4. And of course, what you do to one side, you must do to the other side. So yes, the 4's canceled. There's no more fraction. Bring down c minus 5 equaling 12. Final step, get rid of that minus 5 by doing a plus 5. Now what you do to one side, you do to the other side. Final answer is c equals 17. Of course, you could plug it in to double check, right? If you plug in 17, 17 take away 5 is 12. 12 up on top divided by 4 on the bottom really does equal 3. Moving on, number 8. b plus 1 divided by 3. So how do you get rid of that divided by 3? You multiply by 3. What you do to one side, you do to the other side. The 3's cancel out. What do we have left? The b plus 1 is no longer a fraction. It's just b plus 1. The equal sign comes down, and 2 times 3 is 6. To get rid of that plus 1, you do the opposite, which is minus 1. And what you do to one side, you do to the other side to maintain the balance. So what happens here? That cancels out. We have the b that comes down all by itself, the b, equaling 6 take away 1 is 5. We are done. B equals 5. Number 9. Finally, we get to some good stuff here. Why is that? Because we have h on the left side of the equal sign and h on the right side of the equal sign. Yes, we have h's on both sides of the equal sign. And this is something new, right? You do not want h on both sides. Again, the goal of any equation is to get the variable by itself on one side of the equal sign. We don't want it on both sides. We need to get rid of one of them. So I want to get rid of this one by doing the opposite. You see, that says h. To get rid of h, you do the opposite of positive h, which is a minus h. That'll cancel it out. And of course, what you do to one side, you do to the other side. You cannot subtract h from 8 because they're not like terms. So you're subtracting h from the other h values, all right? Which do to one side, do to the other to maintain the balance. So subtract h over here. You really have two of these h's, take away one of those h's, you have one h left over. You could put the 1 if you want, or you could erase the 1, and it's still that single h. Bring down everything. We have a -8, we have an equal sign, and we have 17 right here. We have h on the left side of the equal sign. It's almost by itself, right? We still need to get rid of this -8, so get rid of it by doing the opposite, +8. And what you do to one side, do to the other side to maintain the equality, the balance. We have h equals 25. And again, if you're ever doubting yourself, if you don't really feel confident on your answer, you could plug in 25 right there. 2 times 25 is 50. 50 take away 8 is 42. And then over here we have 25 plus 17, and that really is 42 as well. So it does work. You get 42 on both sides of your answer. So you could double check it that way. Number 10. Aw, dang. We have n's on both sides, right? We have a 4n here and a 4n there. Actually, a -4n here. So you want to get rid of one of the 4n's. Now, you might end up with the special case equation, but in this case, you'll see that to get rid of a -4n on the right side, to get rid of this guy, you have to do the opposite of -4n, which is a +4n. And of course, that cancels out, but the equation's off balance right now. What you do to one side, you must do to the other. And again, if you're adding 4n, you cannot add 4n to the 12th. All right? You could only add n's with its like terms. So you're going to add 4n over here with the other n term, right? So 4n plus 4n really is 8n. Bring down the -12, bring down the equal, bring down the 12. Now, to get rid of this -12, I do the opposite, right? Because again, the goal is to get n by itself. N is on the left side of the equal sign. It's over here. You want it by itself. You don't want the 8. You don't want the -12. You get rid of the -12 first by doing the opposite, which is +12. What you do to one side, you must do to the other side, +12, to maintain the balance. Your new equation, the 8n comes down, the equal sign comes down, and 12 plus 12 is 24. So your new equation reads 8 times n equals 24. I need to get rid of the multiplication of 8, right? That multiplication of 8 in front of the n, I need to divide by 8 to get rid of it. What I do to one side, I do to the other side. It cancels out. 24 divided by 8 is 3. So your final answer is n equals 3. Maybe I should have taken the time to made more space and write it down here below. N equals 3. You see the equal sign came down. It's a little better to stay organized and continue with that equal sign coming down, separating the left side of the equal sign with the right side. Moving on. Yeah, we're finally to some equations that have variables on both sides, and not only that, we have fractions. Oh yeah, fun stuff. Okay, so yeah, there's many roads to the same place. You could get rid of fractions by multiplying everything by the denominator, or you could deal with the fraction, especially if you have a common denominator. It's easy to add 2/3 with 2/3. That'll be 4/3. But you know what? I'm just going to get rid of fractions. Let's say you guys freak out with fractions, so let's get rid of them, right? How do you get rid of a 2 divided by 3? Well, you just multiply by 3. That'll cancel it out. But you have to do it to everything, right? To the entire left side and the entire right side of the equal sign. So multiply by 3 right here, multiply by 3 right there, multiply by 3 right there, okay? So what do we have left? We have the 2v, no more fraction. 6 times 3, or 3 times 6 is 18, and it was a -18. Bring down the equal sign. 3 times 6 is 18. And then again, over here, the 3 and the 3 canceled out, and we end up with a -2v. So let's put -2v right here. And now we have a equation at least that doesn't have fractions. So where's the v at? Is it on the left side of the equal sign or the right side of the equal sign? Well, it's on both sides of the equal sign. You don't want it on both sides. So let's get rid of one of them. I'm going to get rid of the -2v on the right side by adding 2v. That'll cancel out. What you do to one side, do to the other side, add 2v. 2v plus 2v is 4v. And then bring down the -18, bring down the equal sign, bring down the other 18. So now we finally have v on the left side of the equal sign. Let me make a little more space here. We want to get v by itself on the left side. We don't want the -18. We don't want the times 4. So let's get rid of the -18 by going +18. That'll cancel out. What you do to one side, you must do to the other. +18 over here to maintain the equality of the equation, right? So what do we have left? We have the 4v. We have the equal sign that comes down. And 18 plus 18 is 36. So I actually have 4 times v, and I need to get rid of that multiplication of v by doing the opposite of multiplying by 4. I need to get rid of the multiplication of 4 by doing the opposite of multiplying by 4, which is dividing by 4. What you do to one side, you do to the other side. Cancels out. V equals 9. There's your answer. Oh yeah, number 12, check that out. We have 4 different fractions, and they don't even all have the same denominator, right? So you can, if you wanted to, you could get rid of the 1/2 by multiplying by 2, multiplying by 2, multiplying by 2, multiplying by 2, but that's not going to get rid of these fractions, because 2 over 8 doesn't completely cancel out. It'll leave it as 1 over 4, and you still have another fraction, 5 over 4, to get rid of. So it's easier to look at the different denominators, 2, 8, 8, and 2, and find the common denominator. Kind of like if you were going to add 2 fractions, right? You would have to get a common denominator, and that common denominator would be 8, okay? So let's multiply everything by that common denominator 8. So if you go times 8, times 8, times 8, times 8, you'll get rid of all fractions at the same time. Check it out. 8 divided by 2. 8 divided by 2 is 4. Over here, 8 divided by 8 cancels out, it's 1. 8 divided by 8 cancels out, it's 1. And 8 divided by 2 is 4. So what do we have left? We have 4 times 1. 4 times 1 is 4. What else do we have? Well, that canceled out, so you really have just minus 5 with an x. That's right, minus 5x. We have the equal sign. Over here we have 8, that canceled out, so it's just 7 left over with an x. 8 over 8 became 1. 1 times 7 with x is just 7x. And over here we have 4 times 7, and that canceled out. So 4 times 7 is positive 28. 4 times 7 is positive 28, plus 28. So there's my equation that has no more fractions in it. Now I need to worry about getting x by itself on one side of the equal sign. Now the problem is I have x's on both sides. I don't want x's on both sides, so let's get rid of one of them. Now normally I get rid of the 7x by subtracting 7x and moving it over here, but you don't always have to move your x's to the left. If you want, you could move them to the right. Now notice, if I subtract 7x and move it this way, I'll have a negative 7x and a negative 5. I end up with a negative x value. If you want, you can move it over to the other side, or you could, whichever way you want is fine, as long as you get x by itself on one side. So let me do this one slightly differently to show you a better variety of how to solve. I want to get rid of that minus 5x by going plus 5x and plus 5x. So my new equation is a 4 on this side, an equal sign that comes down, and 7 plus 5, and we're talking about x's, that's 12 of those x's, plus 28. Okay, so notice this time I moved my x to the right side of the equal sign. So what I'm going to do now is get x by itself on that right side of the equal sign. I'm going to get rid of that plus 28 by doing minus 28. And what I do to one side, I do to the other side, minus 28. So what I have here is I have $4. I owe $28. Man, I can't pay them off. I'm still going to owe $24. Bring down the equal sign, bring down the 12x. So what do we have here? We have negative 24 equals 12 times x, right? Let's get rid of the multiplication of 12 by dividing by 12. What you do to one side, do to the other side. So your final answer here is negative 2 equals x. And of course, instead of leaving it like that, let's write it as x equals negative 2. So it's totally up to you whether you want to get your x's on the left side of the equal sign or the right side of the equal sign, right? We decided in this case to move it to the right and then get the x by itself on the right, which means that that's our goal, that's our answer, x equals negative 2. That's the entire front side of this homework. I'll do video number 2 explaining the back side, which is obviously a little more fun. See you on the next video.